Um, Hello, everybody, and welcome to the spooky episode 40 of Press YYZ, your favorite Canadian gaming podcast. You can watch the show live on twitch.tv/Press YYZ every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time in front of a digital studio audience, or listen to it on your own time on podcast services like iTunes, Google Podcasts, Pocket Casts, or Spotify. We appreciate however you choose to support the show, including subscribing to us on Twitch, using that free sub that comes with Amazon Prime. But if you don't have any loons to toss our way, no big deal. We'll be here no matter what. I'm your team leader today, Nathan, and this week I am joined by the frightening AJ Fraser. How are you doing, AJ?
Oh, I'm hanging in there. Oh, how are you doing, Nathan?
I'm not too bad. I'm not too bad. It's been a good week so far. I'm back from Windsor. Good. That's the important thing.
That's very important.
So we've got Super Cozio, Alex Kazina. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing well.
We've got the Stadia Stan, Alex Ballant. How are you doing, Alex?
You're going to have to explain that reference, but I'm doing pretty good. It's good to be back, guys.
You just have to look at Twitter for that.
We've got Deadpool. Where'd Mitch go?
Wear a mask.
All right.
Can I take this thing off now?
Mitch, I don't know what the deal is, but that Deadpool costume, it looks like a dog is meant to wear it. Like something is really messed up around the mouth.
I have a big head, okay?
No, but it's the nose specifically.
It doesn't look right.
Like when you talk, the nose wiggles just a little bit.
Honestly, it looks like it's meant for a small penis.
Is it actually underwear?
I've had enough of this bit.
Yeah, no one asked you to make this bit, but you know.
But like I said, you should wear a mask.
What is it? I don't.
This is the new face masks that MeUndies sells.
Oh.
I'm wearing underwear on my face, everybody.
Are we sponsored by MeUndies?
No, they're not paying a shit.
I'm making moves like this, they might notice us.
Oh, well, we should.
Also, it's really comfy and I like it, and I wanted to show it off.
Okay, cool.
Happy Halloween, I guess.
Seriously, wear a mask.
All right. So let's get some of the homework out of the way. First off, Mitch, why don't you talk about the charity Smash Brothers tournament we're helping present?
I will do just that. So we are teaming up with our good friend, Mr. Alan Spooner Martinez, former guest of the show, to host a Smash Brothers tournament. This tournament is going to raise funds for the Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer Foundation. Entry fees, half your entry fee will go towards that cause, as well as there will be ways to donate during the stream. It's going to be happening the weekend of November the 7th. We'll be hosting it here. We'll be hosting it on Spooner's channel. We'll send out all those links as we get closer to the day of. The registration link can be found in all of the promotional material we send out. It's a Discord to go join, sign up, get more information. And yeah, it's a great cause. Happy that Spooner reached out to us to help with working on this, and it's going to be a real good time. I think we're all going to sort of like figure out ways to be part of the commentary team. I know some of you guys have registered to compete. It's going to be a lot of fun, and raising money for a great cause. So yeah, we're going to do that.
Yeah, fuck cancer.
Yeah, I know. Fuck cancer. I think I'm actually registering my son because I'll get my butt kicked. So I'll let my son kick all your butts.
Funny story. So my mom saw that I put this on Instagram. I put it on Twitter. I'm going to eventually put it on my Facebook. Like, get the message out to as many people as we can because fuck cancer. Yeah. She texts me. She's like, I want to play. I don't care if I'm going to lose. How do I play? I'm like, Mom, you don't own a Switch. You've never played this game. And I love you so goddamn much.
Aww,
like,
that's so nice.
It's very nice. Okay, cool. Next, I'm going to throw it to Cozy so we can talk about his extra live stream.
Thank you very much. So yeah, I am hosting an extra live stream again, like last year. It is going to be hosted on November 6th. This is all Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to be starting at 1 p.m. and I'm going to be going until 1 a.m. I'm going to be playing games such as Apex Legends, Pokemon XD, Gale of Darkness, a bunch of games made by Red Aleica. I'm also going to be doing some super special, awesome live stuff on my live stream, such as building a Pokemon Mega Constructs kit. I also am going to be baking pizza live on stream. I wasn't able to hit my sub goal for hosting my first ever cooking stream, but I still did get a lot of subs, so I figured I'd compensate by basically baking a pizza pie for your enjoyment. And yeah, lots of other excitement and delights await, including some possible surprise guests. Please go and subscribe, follow my Twitch channel right now if you haven't done so yet. And of course, know that you can donate at any time at extra-life.org/participant/CozyBearLive.
I have a very important question.
Yes.
Is the pizza gonna have pineapple on it?
I mean, no.
Okay, good.
All right, I can go sub to your channel.
You know
Yeah,
that-
everyone donate now.
I mean, like, I don't know. I feel like I would have. So first off, I thought for sure when you saw the schedule that you were going to ask about the Halo thing at the very bottom of the schedule.
I
I mean, I'm also in for Halo. Like,
yeah, me too. But like, pineapple on pizza is a little bit more
I
important.
mean, second thing,
always.
Yeah,
You know
because
that
it belongs there.
you guys know that I've been posting my cooking exploits pretty often on Twitter and Instagram, right?
Yes.
You do
Yeah,
know
no,
that a couple of weeks
Carmen was
ago.
saying today she wants to get your scalloped potatoes recipe.
Oh, I'll definitely pass it on. You guys do know that I did some pineapple on pizza a couple of weeks ago, right?
We don't need to see it, Cozy.
yeah, we don't
Don't
need to
do
talk
this
about
to
it.
us.
Don't do it.
Hold on,
Don't do
like,
it.
hold on. Like,
Actively
all
try
jokes,
to
all jokes
ignore it.
aside, like, legitimate question: is this something that you guys knew when you said, "Is there going to be pineapple on the pizza"?
I knew you've cooked with pineapple in the past. I was hoping you were going to be redeeming yourself with this one, and it turns out you are.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you want me to like? Do we want to talk about actual news, or do you want me to get into a big long diatribe?
Probably
I
not.
just
We've got
wanna
a lot
say-
of news to go through.
I mean, I just want to say, Cozy, it's great that you're doing what you are for Extra Life, and I
Yep.
think we should try to figure out a way for. I mean, I know you're going to play some multiplayer. We're going to try to hop in on your stream, but I think maybe amongst us, we could also organize something on another day or something. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
For sure.
Yeah,
And I do want
I'll
to
be
say
hopping
before
in.
we move on that, like, I do have very complicated thoughts on pineapple on pizza that I do want to share at one point, but for the sake of the news today, I will skip it over for the time being.
Yeah, at some
Don't
point we'll
discriminate
have
against pineapple.
the cozy soliloquy about pineapple on pizza.
It's not even like I'm not even that praiseful for the record. It's just,
thank
like I
God.
said, my
Yeah,
thoughts are complicated.
Don't discriminate. That's all that matters. Let people like what they like, and
Sorry, Nathan, you were going to say something?
No, I was just gonna say I'll be jumping into Mario Kart and Fall Guys with you, and maybe can I play this Halo game on my PC? Is that something I can do if I've never played Halo?
Yes,
With
this
that
is
game.
The Halo. So here's the thing: for the Halo Reach segment of the stream, I'm actually going to be engaging in a grudge match with a person from another Discord server that.
Oh, so we don't even have to be
fought
on
me in the
that.
past. It is
I
Halo
thought it'd be
Reach.
Team Press YYZ against this guy.
It's part of
He's
the
got
Master
no
Chief
chance.
collection on Steam. So if you have Steam,
Okay.
you can play it.
Also, if you have it on
Or
Game Pass,
Game
they're
I was gonna say if I have it on
cross-play.
Game Pass.
crossplay.
Game Pass,
Perfect.
you're good, yeah.
Okay,
They
cool.
ordered by crossplay.
And Cozy, can you describe loyalty badges to me? Because I'm an old dummy and I don't understand how Twitch works.
Oh, I mean, basically, if you are subscribed to us right now, you should see a loyalty badge next to your name, and that loyalty badge will gradually change and grow over time the longer you sub to us. It's just a tiny little detail that I've been meaning to implement for a really long time, and finally I got off my ass earlier today, and I implemented it in full.
Super sexy. Nice. So you guys hear that? You need to subscribe if you want to get this sexy badge in front of your name. Let's do that.
Also, our logo is the emote for the channel now, so you can throw that all over the place as well.
Yes.
Hell yeah!
Especially
Whenever we
in
raid
modes
at the end of
away.
the stream.
Well, when we raid later today, and if you have an idea of who you want us to raid ahead of time, let us know. Make sure you throw those Press YYZ signs out. So let's get started with what's everybody been playing. We're going to try and keep everything a little bit short today because I don't know what happened today, but God hell, there's a lot of news. So
Something's in the
um,
water.
yeah, something happened today. So let's
Someone was
go
drinking
through.
some bad Kool-Aid.
Alex, why don't you start us off? Give us the update on the documentary.
I've had a very, very busy week. As you guys know, I was not here last week, and that was because, I'll be honest, we were having a wrap party for my crew because we finished filming Access Granted with Steve Saylor, friend of the show.
Yay, we did it.
And oh my God, it was one of the best experiences I've had in my entire life. It was absolutely incredible. Like, Steve is, for one, doing a documentary on somebody who talks for a living is perfect because I ask him a question, he answers 12 of the next questions that I would have lined up. He was
Nice.
awesome. He was phenomenal. He was so open to everything that we wanted to do. He also just like gave us opportunities that we weren't planning on. If any of you guys saw on Twitter, head of Xbox, Phil Spencer, wildly might be in my documentary. Maybe.
Oh boy.
Just maybe.
When's he coming on the podcast?
I don't know. I mean, he'll be on the Xbox podcast that I do for YYZ about the Series X, but I don't know if he's going to be on an episode proper.
Wait,
we're still working out the schedule. No, I mean like the YYZ episode of the Series X, like, you know.
So for those who don't know, in the background, we're trying to figure out how to do our next gen coverage, and we're thinking there's going to be 2 episodes of the show that the week that both new consoles come out. One in the regular Wednesday slot for the Xbox, and one probably on Saturday for the PlayStation.
Yeah. I get to be on all of these. Yeah, I get to be in all of these because I'm buying both of these systems.
Like a crazy person.
Yep. Yeah, but it was phenomenal. Steve is genuinely, like, he was absolutely a gem through the whole thing, and I don't know if he'll hear this, but I'm so happy that he was a part of this. Like, it wouldn't have been possible without him. And oh my God, there's still a lot of stuff up in the air with this, and I'm really excited to see what happens with this.
I hate to do Twitch stuff in this because we do it on demand and audio and everything. Someone clip that thing out that he just said about Steve so we can send it to him.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, please. Thank you, Steve. You're the best. So yeah, that was. I mean, I could go into more details about it, but if you follow me on either Instagram or Twitter, there's a lot of behind the scenes photos that I posted. Like, go check those out. Like, it kind of has more cohesive thoughts. Like, it was just a really, really great weekend, and I'm so happy. I can't wait to see. We're starting it this weekend. I'm making the paper edit of the entire thing, and then from there we're gonna start slowly working through the editing process, because we're going like the whole 9 yards with it. Because this, I don't want to gas myself up too much, but I think this genuinely could have legs. I'm really excited about that.
Well, I'm really excited for you, Alex. I think this is going to be a big deal, and I think it's a topic a lot of people have been talking about. I think Steve's the right guy to get on board for this. So,
absolutely.
I am so excited to see what the future brings for you. Also coming in the future, we have Immortals Phoenix Rising, and you guys were able to play it in the way of the future on Google Stadia. In fact, Alex, you're now the Stadia stan, is my understanding, because Google Stadia retweeted you.
Yeah, wildly. Yesterday. Me. Yeah, I know. They do not listen to this show.
Clearly not.
Yeah, because
one of you shits on Stadia and the other one is AJ.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Great way to spend a work break.
Yeah, so very quickly, I'll let you guys talk. I just decided I brought my Xbox controller to work because it's reading week right now, and I work at my school, so literally nothing was happening. So I was just like, fuck it, time to try Mortals, because I knew the demo was free. You didn't need to have Stadia Pro. And so I just played that for my 4-hour shift, and I actually really like the game. I wasn't planning on getting it. I think I might get it in December. What are your guys' thoughts on it?
Go for it, Mitch. I streamed it over at twitch.tv/Mr. Mitch George, and I had a very interesting experience where I was streaming it the night that the demo dropped, and some of the dev team found the stream and was hanging out in stream and chatting about the game and chatting in French, because we know it's Ubisoft Quebec that's working on this title, and having them in the stream and the energy they brought to that had me really excited for the game. But on top of that, it is Breath of the Wild with Greek mythology, exactly like you said in your tweet, and I am 100% down for that, because we all know I loved Breath of the Wild. If I've got nothing to play in December, it's definitely something I'm going to pick up. I don't know where I'm going to pick it up, though. That's where my dilemma is. We were having this conversation earlier of Stadia would be great if I was, going places and having it on the go, but we don't go places. We don't be on the go, because who goes anywhere these days?
Yeah.
So I'm honestly leaning towards the Switch, review dependent, because if it doesn't perform well there, I'm not going to get it there. But having that game on the go, it feels like a good game to have on the go when that becomes a thing again. Otherwise, probably pick it up on the PlayStation.
There's a next gen version of it, right?
Nope.
Oh, it's not?
Backwards
There is no
compatibility.
next gen version announced. It is coming to PC, Stadia, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch.
Okay, so it should be backwards compatible. Okay.
Yeah.
Correct.
And assuming then it'll also be kind of up-resed, I guess, for whichever
Load times be
Yeah.
optimized and it run at a smooth 60 instead of, it'll probably be locked at 30 on current
That's weird.
gen.
It's weird that because Ubisoft has been pretty forward about being like Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Watch Dogs both are going to have next gen versions right when they come out, and it's weird that this is kind of the outlier in that.
I don't think it's that weird because I don't think they're putting as much money into this title as they are into those.
That's fair.
We know that
New
AC is their big game of the fall. Watch Dogs has been something they've been trying to get out the door for what feels like over a year now. So if they had stuck to their original, release cadence of game comes out on the original date and then next gen comes out with next gen, it'd be fine. Unfortunately, now everything is running together with some of these titles, specifically Watch Dogs, because we've got some review discussion on this later on. Even though none of us have played it, just because there's been some interesting tidbits that have come out of those reviews. But it sounds like at least current gen consoles are definitely being pushed to their limits with games coming out this November or December.
Yeah, we'll have some more on that, I think, as we get into news. I think this is going to be a big topic point.
Yeah.
All right. So obviously Watch Dogs is about to come out, but let's talk about something that is out now. Mitch, what were you playing this weekend?
I was playing with, actually Cozy was in the co-pilot seat with me on this one. We took a first look at the Red Lantern, which is a new
DC Comics
roguelite,
adaptation.
Roguelite survival game.
Lantern.
There are Red Lanterns in Green Lantern, but this is not that lantern. I'm sorry to say, Nathan.
Hold on a second.
Oh, it's not atrocious.
So on our current layout on stream, we have like a stream within a stream because we're looking at our past broadcasts from this weekend. It reminds me of those like DS covers that were like a DS case inside of a DS case.
Oh yes.
You remember what I'm talking about?
Like the best of games.
Yeah,
or whatever?
exactly.
Yeah, like the. I kind of see that.
Anyways, besides the point.
Yeah.
Mitch?
Yeah, no, I had a blast with it. Full disclosure, the code was provided to us by Pop Agenda as they are doing the PR for this title. It's from Timberline Studios. You would have seen it previously in at least one, if not two, Nintendo indie showcases. It's essentially a sled dog game. You pick your team of dogs, you try to survive the wilderness, essentially. And I had a blast. It was very serene, but then stressful when managing your hunger versus your dog's hunger and resource gathering, and just there weren't enough goddamn camps because you need to get to a camp to eat. And we died almost every run we died on. It was because we went like the entire run without seeing a camp. But
if you had to, could you eat a dog?
No.
That's
Good.
not an option.
I mean, the dogs
and thank
could
God
not die on our
There was an
Okay,
option
also
in
good.
the game. There was an option in the game where you could. It was off by default, but you could say that the dogs could not die. The first thing I did was change that setting so that the dogs could not die, because I could not live with myself if I got a dog killed on stream. And seeing how well I did, a dog definitely would have died on stream.
Oh yeah.
So I really enjoyed playing this game alongside Mitch. You know, what makes this game good is that it looks on stream like there's a lot of like Twitch gameplay involved, but in reality, it's actually more akin to a Telltale adventure game where you're largely kind of making decisions and characters are moving on their own based on your decisions. And so it actually worked out really well where I could kind of offer my input, or we could vote on certain decisions live as they were happening, and based on that, kind of the game would progress. And as a result, even though I wasn't, directly in control of the game via my own keyboard, I still felt like I was kind of playing a meaningful part in the game. Voice acting wise, I think Ashley Birch puts on a great performance. Visually, the game looks great. One thing I will say though is that the game is something of a roguelike in that every time you enter into the Alaskan wilderness, certain objects or encounters or events are randomized. But one thing that I take great pleasure in when playing roguelikes, like for example what was the Vita one where you're a knight?
Rogue Legacy.
Rogue Legacy. Yeah, it literally has Rogue in the name. One thing that I love in games like Rogue Legacy is that, after repeated failures, you eventually get better and better and better at the starting areas. And eventually you can get to the point where you can just slide through the starting areas with no problem and kind of eventually start taking on some of the harder, more difficult later areas with increased efficiency. And over the course of the 2 hours that we were playing this game, I didn't feel like we were getting any better at the kind of starting section of this game. But, we were kind of chatting it up the whole time and having fun. And I don't know if things would have been different if we'd been really seriously paying attention to the layout of the world and to certain signs that are presented towards you whenever you're forced to make a decision. Like, for example, markers on the side of the road that indicate the presence of campfires or whatnot.
Yeah, the last thing I want to add is each of the dogs you pick to be part of your team have character to them. So you're coming from the city, you're bringing the city dog to the wilderness, but at some point that dog got a hankering for some squirrels. So anytime there was a squirrel, even though we wanted to avoid going after the squirrel, this dog had to go after the dang squirrels. Another dog was our fighter. So anytime we ran into wolves, that dog was getting hurt, and you have to make the decision: do I, use my rifle and try to shoot the wolf? Do I just use the rifle to try to distract the wolf so the dog can attack it, or do I do nothing and hope the dog's able to beat the wolf? Resource management's a big deal, so you only have so many bullets. As you complete these, there's unknown achievements in the game. So as you complete different unique events as you travel through this world, like doing something for the first time, like petting a caribou or encountering your first wolf or finding a bear in an abandoned cabin, those items sort of fill in your journal. And the more you fill in the journal, the more resources you have to start each run. So there is a sense of progression to it, which is really nice. And that carries over between runs. So yeah, I really liked it. I'm going to get back to it for sure.
Sweet. You and Cozy, not together, but also got a chance to play both the Crown Tundra DLC for Pokemon Sword and Shield.
That was also together.
Oh, was that? Well, never mind then.
Not only did we get to play it together, we got to play it together twice. Both on Mitch's stream and on my live stream as well.
Yeah. So tell me about the Pokemon you catch. Did you catch a Squirtle?
No.
Well, I don't want to hear any more about this.
There are war turtles though, and aliens.
I like war turtles, I guess.
Yeah, war turtles are cool.
So yeah, I mean, the Pokemon Crown Tundra DLC is the second major expansion to Pokemon Sword and Shield. It just released a few days ago. Currently, I'm showing on stream the moment in Mitch's stream where he happened to catch a shiny Heliolisk, which made him very, very happy. I unfortunately have
super duper happy
shiny myself, but I'd imagine it's only a matter of time. So the kind of main story of the DLC involves you going to a kind of snowy tundra-like section of the main region from Pokemon Sword and Shield, and eventually trying to uncover a bunch of mysteries related to various legendary Pokemon. The story is interesting because very early on you have an encounter with a legendary Pokemon that straight up talks to you, which I feel is very rare in the mainline Pokemon games. Like, in the anime, for example, there are psychic Pokemon all the time that communicate with humans, but it's very rare in the mainline games themselves that Pokemon will talk to humans too. Would you say I'm wrong in that assessment, Mitch? Or
no, I mean it. So I don't want to get too much into the story because I honestly haven't gotten too far. I'm sticking to only playing the story content on stream. So I've really only gotten as far as you saw me get on stream, Cozy, with interacting with that first legendary. But there's also storylines in the DLC around the new forms of the legendary bird trio from Kanto, as well as a storyline around the Reggies. So Regirock, Regice, Registeel, and the two new ones they've added. Yeah, and Regifizame, of course. And the two new ones they've added to the game in this DLC. But for the most part, I have been absolutely addicted, and Cozy, you can probably back me up on this, to the Dynamax adventure mode that they've added as part of this DLC.
Is that the 4-player? I saw my son playing this with teams of 4 and have to go down different paths or something.
Correct.
I don't quite understand. Was I correct?
Cozy,
Ooh.
you wanna take this one?
I mean, so the idea is that basically you and 3 other people squat up and go down a kind of series of intersecting caverns. At each intersection, you battle a Dynamax Pokemon, which is like a supersized, super powered Pokemon. And every time you defeat that Dynamax Pokemon, you have the opportunity to swap it out with the Pokemon that you currently have. One thing I didn't mention at the top is when you first go into Dynamax Adventures, you can't choose any Pokemon from your party. You have to choose a rental Pokemon. So you kind of have to make do with what you have at the start and what you kind of come across along the way. And you can, depending on the paths that you take, you can get certain items, you can get berries that will restore your health. And basically the idea is that you have to go around as strategic enough of a path through the cavern so that when you get to the end, your team will be sufficiently powerful enough to face off against a legendary Pokemon that can come from any one of the prior 7 generations in the series. And it is, and it's really fun, and it adds an extra level of strategy that I feel like Pokemon raid battles by themselves were lacking back when Sword and Shield originally released.
Yeah, a couple of the nice things is when you get to the end of the adventure, you first of all, if you're going to play this, catch every Pokemon you catch along the way. They all have 100% catch rate. You cannot miss it. You could throw a Pokeball at these things and catch them, even the legendaries, which is nice.
That's true.
When you get to the end of it, you would have 4 Pokemon, including the legendary, if you catch everything you encounter along the way. Each one of those Pokemon has a 1 in 300 chance of being shiny. If you have the shiny charm, the odd is 1 in 100. So you have a 1% chance at a shiny Pokemon in this game mode, which is unheard in Pokemon. So I've gotten 2 thus far: the Heliolisk, that Cozy showed me catching on stream, and a Carkol, which was introduced this generation of fire rock type. It's blue. It looks amazing. I love it. And I'm going to keep playing this mode just because the shiny odds, including shiny odds for any legendary you can catch in this mode. So for a lot of these legendaries, you haven't even been able to get their shiny form before in a reasonably accessible way, and now you do. Because anytime you go through, if you choose not to take the legendary at the end of the encounter, you can like bank that path. So when you go into your next run, you can choose to face off against that legendary at the end no matter what. So it allows you to grind for the same Pokemon. If there's, let's say, you want a shiny Mewtwo and you encounter Mewtwo once, you could keep doing it, and those odds of 1 in 100 are eventually going to pay off for you, which is great.
So in the appeal of a shiny is that it is so rare. Does increasing the odds of you getting it not diminish the feels you get when you actually get one? Because I feel like
for some it might, for me it doesn't.
Would do for me. What about you, Cozy?
I mean, partially, yes. But I will admit that there is a thrill of encountering a Pokemon in a color that you typically don't see it in, that I still get when I encounter a shiny every now and then. And for that reason, I'm perfectly fine getting my hands on shinies more easily, even if it does take away some of the luster.
I have a question. Is the legendary Pokemon missing no in this?
See, I thought you were going to ask, like,
that wasn't a legendary.
Is the legendary Pokemon Charmander?
I heard that he's very legendary, missing no.
Yeah, he can clone your rare candies.
There was like Missing No appeared in like a form up until like the 3rd or 4th generation of the Pokemon games, but he hasn't been seen in a while.
All right. Okay. So we've talked about Pokemon. AJ, tell me about what you've been doing.
So my girlfriend came over on the weekend, and I put a Stadia controller in her hand, and I took my other Stadia controller, and we played some split screen Human Fall Flat on Stadia.
Split screen on Stadia?
Yeah. Wow. It's like a real console without the physical device. It's amazing.
Yeah, but how many USB ports does your Stadia have? Because if you don't go out and shell out for their controller, everything has to be wired.
I mean, actually, no, you don't have to do that necessarily anymore. But
fuck me.
Yeah. If you have a Bluetooth controller, that works just fine. But their controllers also come with USB-C, and USB-C is the future. So anyway,
I just bought a brand new device that does not have USB-C.
Yeah, I don't understand.
I've been trying to tell you that it's garbage.
Talk about that in a minute.
Anyway,
I
no,
know okay.
yeah. So, my girlfriend doesn't play a lot of video games. For her birthday, I actually got her a Switch and the Spyro Reignited trilogy, and she's been making her way through that and having a fairly good time. Other than that, like things like Mario Kart are more or less the kind of games that she's interested in. And so I figured I'd give it a shot with this, because this is something that I'm not necessarily going to be 100% dominant at. Like if I put a controller in her hand and started playing against her in Smash Brothers or something like that, that just wouldn't be fun for her. But this was a good cooperative experience where, if she got stuck trying to climb a ledge or something like that, I could actually try to physically manipulate my character to help her up the ledge or something like that. If she needed it, as she gains the dexterity of using just in general this new controller that she has not really held before. And as the video that you're seeing on the Twitch stream goes on, you can see as she's getting her legs and she's learning how to go through it. Ultimately, what happened in that video was her telling me what to do and saying, "Hey, take this, put this there," and and solving the puzzles on her own. Human Fall Flat is kind of an older game. Stylized, it came out after Gang Beasts and is very much inspired by that movement in it. Yeah. And it's very clumsy. And this is the kind of movement, and it's just a little bit more control on it than, say, Fall Guys has, that makes me feel like if I screw up, it's my fault and not the game fighting against me necessarily, because it's all kind of part of the game. We had a pretty good time for a couple hours playing through a good chunk of levels on that. It's fun. Yeah.
Sweet. All right. Well, that looks like an interesting game. I've heard of Human Fall Flat, so now I'm interested in trying it, because I think
it'd be interesting for you to put into your kids' hands and play around with them in that.
Yeah, for sure. I can see that. 100%. All right, Mitch, you got a live unboxing for us.
Yeah. So, as we all know,
what this unboxing is.
Cozy is fully aware of, it is the 35th anniversary of Super Mario Brothers.
Correct.
Is it Lego?
So what I've got for you today is this would reset.
I can't really see.
Yeah, it's all pixeling.
Give me a second. Give me 1 second. What it is it is the Super Mario 35th anniversary pins that were available via the Nintendo things. So you had to complete some quests to do some things and get some points, including buying an $80 game that probably shouldn't have been $80, but now, wow, these are really nice. I have not opened this yet.
Those pins.
And I'm looking at these pins, and they're really nice. And do you guys want to see them, or should I just keep these to myself?
I mean, you can try showing them again, but
I mean, I don't know how an unboxing works. I'm new to this whole internet thing, but just look at those pins.
For my first time on
and for those on audio, I'm sorry I'm doing this. I will tweet out something later with these pins in it, but I'm really happy I got these. I was planning on getting the game anyway because I've never played Sunshine, so I want to play Sunshine. And yeah, these pins are really nice. I'm glad I got them.
I'm sorry that you want to play Sunshine.
I'm a glutton for punishment. What can I say?
You too.
I'm looking forward to when you do eventually get around to playing Sunshine, Mitch. We need to talk about something in relation to that game.
I played it one day on stream, and I was going to make that like my Sunday game, and then Pokemon DLC came out.
Right.
You should have planned that better. You knew that DLC was coming.
I did, but I didn't think it was going to hook me the way that it did. Now that's all I can play on stream because it's all I can play.
Okay.
What happened to Avengers?
We're going to pick up the pace here because we still got one or two people to get through here. But Mitch, you want to talk about your iPhone 12 Pro, which doesn't have USB-C for some reason?
So pretty. Look at this thing.
It looks like an iPhone to me.
It is an iPhone.
It's different, though. It looks different.
Look at that edge-to-edge display. Kind
Yeah,
of.
those are overrated.
Yeah,
I
they're
like a
going
good
back-
forehead on my phone.
Yeah, they went back to
Look at that camera system. All those cameras.
Yeah,
So I was due. I mean, I wasn't due for an upgrade. I could have just replaced the battery in my iPhone 10, but the thing was starting to chunk a little bit, which like it was chugging as I was trying to do stuff. So I was due for an upgrade, and I know Alex is looking at my phone like, "Where's the big one?"
yeah,
He wants the big one.
that fucking Max, man. I'm so excited. That
Dude,
week,
the low light camera on this phone is no joke.
that's what I'm honestly. That's the thing I'm the most excited about for sure.
Have you guys tried the Pixels night sight?
I mean, the
I would
issue
have to
here
have
is
an
it's, like,
Android.
it's AI driven night vision or night mode. So you really, with a tripod, would probably be your best bet, just because any slight movement as it like tracks the scene and everything does look a little granular. But it's phenomenal what they've done with it. I'm very happy with this purchase.
That's what I'm excited about with the 12 Pro Max because of the sensor shifting. That's one of the biggest reasons why I decided to go with the big phone instead of the little phone, is because of that feature. Because this is the first time they're like, oh no, the big one's going to be different though. Because most of the time it's literally just been the big one just as a bigger screen.
It's just the big one.
This time it's actually like significant camera differences. So that's why I'm going to be getting that. Yeah.
Also, I got a bad Apple to give out because Apple packs this thing with a USB-C to Lightning cable and no power adapter.
Dude, Apple's fucking weird. So
Apple's really fucking weird.
So it's like the laptops. It's like USB-C. Nobody wanted USB-C on the laptop, or they wanted USB-C, but not exclusively USB-C. And Apple's like, no, but like everyone wants USB-C on the phone. But they're like, whoa, guys, that's a bridge too far.
That's going too far. Yeah.
Yeah. What the fuck, Apple?
So that cable is exclusively my charge phone at work because I have a newer MacBook for work. So that will just stay over there. And what the hell?
Yeah. It's also with the MagSafe as well. People are like, oh, we want MagSafe back on the laptops. Oh, you want MagSafe? Okay, we're going to put it on the phones now.
I did buy a MagSafe case that should be here tonight. If it shows up during the show, I'm going to get Carmen to go grab it so I can show you on stream. But I caved there because so something Apple does that is really nice is you can trade in your old device and they'll properly recycle it for you. And they'll give you a beefy gift card to boot. So I got a beefy gift card. Bought myself a case, might go out and buy ourselves a HomePod or something with the rest of it, or some more smart lights or something along those lines, because Apple does sell those things in store, or an Xbox controller.
Yeah.
I don't know if I got AJ back with that one, but
I mean, it's better than everything else you've said. So
yeah.
All right. So I just kudos to Apple for that, but bad Apple for cable in box, no headphones, no power adapter.
Bad Apple.
Yeah.
I stole that one from Brian Tong. Go support him on YouTube. He's great.
So I just want to quickly talk about two games I've quickly played a little bit for review. One is called, I'm going to say this wrong, Onoe Chanbara Origin.
One
Chambara Origin.
So just to break it down by syllable, One Chanbara.
One Chanbara.
Yeah, that's pretty close.
Okay, excellent. I'm Japanese now.
Yeah.
But it's a fun hack and slash bloody game starring anime titty women that wear almost nothing in it. But it's actually fun to play. Just blood all over the place. There's weapon durability in the fact that you have to every once in a while stop your combos and swing your sword to get the blood off your sword.
Oh, that's cool.
There's a meter on your sword that says it's got too much blood and you got to swing it off. And you basically slice through zombies in these different levels as it tells the story. So there's like hundreds of them that are coming at you all at once. And there's cool death finishers, executions. I've played this is a remake of the first two, I believe, is my understanding. So it's getting back into the origin. I know I played one a few years ago, and definitely everything was a little more updated with newer things, as this is a remake, so it doesn't quite have all the same features, but super fun to play. Just a mindless hack and slash as you go through with some really cool bosses.
This is one of those series that I remember very distinctly from like the late PlayStation 2, early like Xbox 360, PlayStation 3 generation. And I was going to ask, like, wow, I'm shocked that this series is still around. But hearing that it's a remake of the first game is like, oh, that actually makes sense, because there are a lot of like next generation remakes of older PlayStation and Xbox era games nowadays.
Well, I think it was,
and that's not like an insult or anything. I'm sure I totally believe you, Nathan, when you say this game is a lot of fun. But anyways,
yeah, you can see her costume. I don't know why, but she walks around with a barely there bikini as she kills things.
That sounds like a waifu game.
Yep, but it's fun to play. That's the important thing. The other game I've been playing is Pixel Puzzle Makeout League, which is a Switch game which will be coming out in a few days on the 30th, I believe.
Did you play this for review or on your own time?
No, this is a review title. But essentially, it's a Picross superhero dating sim. As you try and stop a supervillain and get to know your other team members on your team, chess, crossword, Sudoku, and Pisia. And you solve a lot of Picross puzzles, and it's a Picross with a story. Really cute, fun to play. I played it all last night. I got the code yesterday, I think, and I played it like for hours last night, and then a few hours today as well, trying to get through the story as quickly as possible. You can streamline it, because I'm playing all the paths every time that there's an option, because I just want to play more Picross puzzles, honestly. So you could probably get through the game quicker than what I've done, because I'm trying all the different puzzles. So I can get all the different avenues, so I can get all the different puzzles. But it's just an interesting, fun to play Picross game, and something a little bit different. And I love Picross, so yeah.
This is on Switch.
Switch, yes. I think there's a Steam port coming for it too.
So
it has to be.
Like no joke, the Switch has been, like, obviously it's been the machine that I played games like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Mario plus Rabbids on. It's also been my primary Picross machine of this past generation. I played the shit out of I think it's Kimono Animal Friends Picross and Lord of the something or other Picross. There was like all the anime Picross games I just devour on the Switch. So I am like, no joke. I know I say all the time, oh, maybe I might check this game out. I am totally going to check this game out, because there's always time for Picross.
Yeah, it's a fun little Picross game. I wish I had a better name. Pixel Puzzle Makeout League is not probably the best name. And I have not seen.
I mean, I think that name alone is going to sell it to that will sell it alone to a few people who were not going to pick it up otherwise.
Yep, that's fine. Yeah. No, it's true. Okay, so we're getting close here. Alex, show me your tattoo.
I got a Halo tattoo.
Hey!
It was the most painful experience of my entire life, because it's all over scar tissue, but it looks cool as fuck. My Instagram has better pictures for it. That's it right there. No nips on Twitch, though.
Oh yeah.
No nips? I thought you were
no nips on Twitch.
Yeah, they are mutually exclusive. No nips.
Oh, I thought Twitch was leading the
no nips on Twitch.
Free the nip movement.
They're equal opportunity nipple bands.
Yeah.
And Mitch has a special announcement. He's leaving the podcast, is my understanding. That's the special
and I should have said this off the top, and I'm sorry I forgot to announce this, but friend of the show and frequent watcher and supporter of us from day one, Mr. Loki Mike, is today celebrating the birth of his third son, Felix. So shout out to Mike. Congratulations.
Oh, congratulations.
Yay.
And, hey, Mike, good job doing that far too many times than you should have.
Love you, King.
No such thing as too many times.
Coming from the guy with how many kids?
3. But now that you're at 3, you get the snip. If you have questions, talk to me. It's 100% worth it.
Can I get that at 0?
Sure.
Sweet.
If you have questions, let me know. I'll talk to you about healing and everything. So makes your lives a whole lot easier. That being said, we are now going to go into the dearth of news that we have to cover, and try and cover it at a quick pace.
The what of news?
The girth. The girth of news.
Yeah. The
girthy news segment that we've got going on here. So we're going to start off. We're going to start off first with Cyberpunk 2077's third.
What about it? It's still coming out on November 19th, right, guys? Right?
Yeah,
please?
totally. Yep. You can play it exclusively on Stadia that day.
If it was only coming out on Stadia, I would literally get it on Stadia. God damn it, CD Projekt Red. Okay, no. First things first. He's not in the chat, but let me fucking TJ, fucking Private Jeebus, fuck you. I fucking hate you, sociopathic fuck. Fuck you, TJ. Okay, I'm ready. I'm calm.
Somebody better cut that for TJ.
What?
I'm
so confused.
Let's quickly say this is from gamesindustry.biz with Brendan Sinclair writing the report. I just want to make sure we're crediting. So they've obviously moved the delay. It seems to be an issue with the current gen versions for PS4 and Xbox One that seem to be causing a problem.
Already.
Yeah.
The biggest thing that they talked about in the fucking yellow rectangle of Doom that the internet has labeled it is that they are working on 9 versions of this game, which is insane. You'd think that they'd start cutting some of the fat at this point, but
where's the 9? Because I count 6.
So Xbox One, Xbox One X, PS4, PS4 Pro, Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, PS5, PC, Stadia.
Yeah, I forgot the whole Xbox is doing really weird stuff. Plus, this generation is technically 2 generations.
Yeah,
it's a whole thing.
Yeah, so it's kind of insane. There's a certain it's hard to be cut the PS4 and Xbox One versions but there's such a huge install base for those, so it's obviously they really want to sell to those people who are not going to be getting PS5s and Xbox Series X's on release. But also clearly these are holding this game back, and we're never going to fucking see this game if they're going to try and get it to work on these machines.
Should this have been a situation where we should have delayed this to next year?
Yeah, I just feel like at this point they just need to stop giving dates.
Yeah.
What I think at this point is they have to stop supporting hardware that cannot run their game. We're seeing this now with early reviews of Watch Dogs. We're hearing this from other developers who are working on cross-generational titles. Just stop.
So
it's hard. I get it. It's money left on the table, but
to that point,
you're killing your developers to get the stuff out the door.
Next article from VG 24/7.
Sure, let's talk about that. So this is from VG 24/7. CyberPunk 2077 PS4 and Xbox One version seemingly to blame for the delay by Sharif Syed. Saeed, thank you. Sorry, Saeed.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, apparently we know what consoles are holding it back, and that's what's causing the problem here. So
on an investors call, they said that the PC, PS5, and Xbox Series versions are ready to go.
The PS5 and Xbox Series, I thought those were coming down the line.
The game for the quote
it's
here,
running, though,
the game for PC is ready and plays well on next gen, and the company is finalizing the process concerning current gen consoles.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, those were being planned for next year. So I'm assuming they're still on track for next year. I misread that quote, but it seems like it is current gen hardware that is holding it back.
So my biggest what I'm wondering is if they felt the need to delay it even 21 days, how bad are these versions clearly that they didn't think, okay, we can release it, patch it later? These must be real fucking bad if they felt the need to delay it.
And here's my concern, because we always talk to people who want physical. How bad are these going to be if you don't have internet to update, to patch?
Oh, yeah. Because the game went gold already.
Yeah. The game's gold. It's probably printed at this point.
Yeah.
So what if you need this much work for a day one patch? What does that mean about what's on disc right now?
I mean, it could be as bad as the situation we're seeing right now with reviews of Watch Dogs on the Xbox One X.
Yeah.
I'm setting you up to go into an article.
One out for Cyberpunk. Let's talk about Watch Dogs.
I don't think it was next, but it's definitely the one we should talk about next.
Okay, well, let's move to that one next, as that's a good segue.
Wait, is there an article about this?
The GameSpot article, Cozy, is regarding Watch Dogs.
Number 3.
Number 3.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
was that added relatively late? Because I didn't see that at all.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It was late. Sorry about that, Cozy.
It's not
no problem. And for the record, for the one that we should have done in the next order, I don't have access to that page right now. It wants me to pay for it. So
I can run you through that. It's because it's Bloomberg.
Yeah, stupid Bloomberg making us pay for their content. Give me ads. I'll pay their ads, or I'll pay their ad bills by looking at those. But anyway, so Watch Dogs Legion is overheating Xbox One X consoles. This is from Gabe Gerwin from GameSpot. But essentially, Watch Dogs Legion, which is about to come out, and the reviews have been all right on it.
No, it comes out tonight.
Is it tonight?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's out tonight. It's out at midnight.
Is it
But so
midnight
that's
tonight? I thought it was
tomorrow.
tomorrow. Okay.
Well, it's technically the 29th, which would be midnight after we record this.
But is it going to be playable at midnight? I guess, yeah. They
I would
usually
assume
unlock
it
at
would
midnight.
unlock, yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
The,
You're right.
the countdown on my PS4 says midnight tonight, so that's what I'm going with.
Did you order it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Somebody said, "Oh, I need someone to record footage for a documentary,"
Who could
which
that
gave me an excuse to
be?
buy it. I wonder.
so I'm super excited about Watch Dogs. Let me rephrase that. After the reviews, I'm mildly excited about Watch Dogs Legion, but I don't think it's a day one purchase anymore. I really liked Watch Dogs 2. But there seemed to be, from what I've heard, I listened to the Kind of Funny Games cast review cast for it today, and there seems to be a lot of bug issues as they play, and that's ranging from, I guess, Xbox One X and PC play seem to be both struggling.
Mhm.
So it's an interesting thing. Now, this article here is talking about overheating problems that are going on with it. We're going to talk about it and watch all the things, but we've got a Twitter thing with Keza McDonald as she's going through her issues and what she's had happen with it as she was playing.
Yeah, it's directly related to this. Like, it's quoted in the GameSpot article that Keza McDonald of The Guardian had an experience with her Xbox One X where she would play the game, this issue would occur, and she wouldn't be able to turn on her Xbox for like 3 or 4 hours.
From what I was reading, it also seems to occur on one specific mission, but then it bricks your console. From what I was kind of reading, and it's only the One X version seems to be the issue where this happens, and I think it's probably because the One X is more powerful, and so it's trying to push it too much.
It's probably a day one bug they're trying to squash.
Yeah, it's probably got to do something with the optimization of the version of that specific version of the game.
It's too bad that reviews for this game aren't uniformly praiseful, because I think that conceptually it's really, really unique, and there have been, no shortage of games in the past that have managed to rise above their various bugs and glitches by virtue of the strength of their core design. And so it's disappointing that it seems like the strength of this game's core design isn't quite there.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see once at least Mitch and I get our hands on it.
Yeah. So my plan with it, honestly, is I'm probably going to play it a little bit over the weekend, but I'm probably not going to get too deep into it. This feels like a game I'm going to wait to play on the PS5.
I think that's probably the right call. And it is a free PS5 upgrade, right?
Yeah,
that is
day
correct,
one.
Yep, day one. So, 100%. So I think that's probably the best bet. I'll play it. I have a feeling I will wait for whatever the $160 version is to get down to $30.
Yeah, Ubisoft games go on sale relatively quickly after launch.
That's how I bought Odyssey.
I didn't want to buy it at launch, but somebody needs footage.
So disappointing about Watch Dogs, but what do you do?
Yeah. Speaking of disappointed.
Speaking of
ruining Alex's dreams,
did you hear CyberPunk was delayed?
This is the shit on Alex cast.
Apparently,
welcome back.
This week is yeah.
You should skip this week.
This happened today.
It literally all happened today. Every time Discord blew up. Every time Discord blew up, I'm like, I have to be on this episode now for sure. I can't come up with any excuse because it's all directly related to the stuff I'm excited for.
So I can't see the article, but essentially the Halo top director has left after the current delay. So he's left 343 Studios completely, and he is being I guess because they brought in somebody else, former Halo guy. Right?
I've got it here. So according to Microsoft, so this all coming from Jason Schreier at Bloomberg. If you have the article, free article to view it, go click on it, give them the view.
Mitch
but essentially
showed me that a trick you can do is you can just go to outline.com and copy and paste the link to the article there, which is how I'm currently displaying the article on stream.
But if you have the free article to get or the free click to give, go give it to Bloomberg because they really do great reporting.
True.
Chris Lee, who oversaw production of Halo Infinite at 343, is no longer working on the title, which was confirmed to Bloomberg News. He is still a Microsoft employee. He's the second top director to leave the project in the last 2 years. The quote, "I have stepped back from Infinite and I'm looking at future opportunities. I believe in the team and I'm confident they will deliver a great game, and now is a good time for me to step away."
So this is interesting in the sense that, yes, this is the second creative director to have left. But I also do kind of think that this might be that I definitely overreacted to this when I read it. In the kind of funny Toronto Discord chat, I remember writing Halo Infinite is fucked, but I did a little bit more looking into this, and because the person who you were referring to, Nathan, a few minutes ago, Jason Staten,
Joe Staten.
Oh yeah, it's Joe. Sorry, so Joe Staten.
Joe Staten was brought back to lead single player, and another senior executive, Pierre Heinz, was brought in to run the multiplayer.
Yeah, so Joe has a really interesting legacy with Halo because he was originally part of Bungie. Then when Bungie left, he actually did the majority of writing for the first Destiny, but then because Destiny kind of got rebooted halfway through development, all of his ideas got thrown out. He left, went back to Microsoft, and now he's back on 343. Now he's he's on 343 now, back to Halo. And it's kind of interesting that it's like there's a lot of really interesting parallels between Infinite and Combat Evolved when you think about it, not just in the way that they're trying to use the nostalgia of the game or of that game, but also just in like the development of it, because Halo Combat Evolved had a really weird development where it kind of got like it had trouble. Basically came together in the last 9 months, which I have a feeling is what's going to happen with Infinite. And also the fact that go ahead.
Oh no, it's also my understanding that Joseph Staten is kind of like historically in that case even kind of like the closer, the one to button it all up. So it's quite possible that what's his name, Chris Lee, who left, the game was supposed to come out right
in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks. It's quite possible his job is actually just finished, and it's like, well, no, you guys just need to make this look good now. That you don't need me here for that. So I'm going to go do my own thing or whatever. So
the only thing that gives me pause about that is that both the statement from he and from Microsoft were very not like, if it was legitimately okay, he's wrapped on his contribution to the game, there's like the role is not necessary due to these other guys coming in and filling some gaps that were needed on the team, that'd be fine. But it was just like, nope, I'm out, this is great. And then Microsoft was like, nope, he's out, but he's technically still an employee. Why would you say that if he's no longer working at 343 or on this title?
From my understanding,
the cryptic nature of it is what
could just be oddly spoken, weird spoken PR stuff. That
from my understanding, he got replaced around the time that Joseph came back, and he was just kind of in the wings, like not really doing anything. Obviously, this is all kind of speculative, but like it seems like he had been replaced for a little while, and this is just like his time where he's like, I'm not doing shit, time for me to go. And then it obviously got to Bloomberg. So it'll be very interesting to see. I'm super, super curious now the next time we see this game, because it's got to look real good. Otherwise, it's in trouble.
So
like the next time
real good or real different?
This is a question that I want to ask you, Alex. One, when do you think that we are going to see this game again? And two, when do you think that the game is finally going to release?
So I think we'll probably not see it until like spring next year. It's going to come out November next year, because that'll then correspond with the 20-year anniversary of Halo Combat Evolved.
And then it'll get delayed out of November. After it goes gold.
It would be a pretty insane delay, but I can believe it. What was it? Batman Arkham Knight was basically delayed by a year after they initially announced it for like the fall of 2014.
Don't announce release dates till the game's ready to go.
It's not unheard of. I do want to say quickly before we move on, if you want to learn more about the history of the original Halo's development and about the history of many of the subsequent Halos that followed, you should go and check out this article that was written on Vice a couple of years ago called The Complete Untold History of Halo. It basically delves into the series history told by the people that were actually in the room when it happened. Please go check it out. It's a great read.
Did you have to put it that way, Cozy?
I think
Now all
Alex
I can
actually
think
just
about is
ran away
Hamilton.
to. I think Alex just ran away to go read it. Actually,
I mean,
all I can think of now is Hamilton because he said no, like
Yeah,
no one
that's how
else was in the room where it happened. The room where it
that's what I
happened.
thought too.
The room where it
In the
happened.
room where it
I didn't see
happened.
it.
In the room
I
where
mean,
it
you
happened.
do realize that
Carmen, can we watch
you
Hamilton
do realize
tonight?
that Hamilton.
Okay, we're gonna watch
was-
Hamilton tonight.
Hamilton did not originate that phrase, right?
Right, but it's what gets caught in my head when you use that phrase.
It's
And
exactly
I'm
what
filling
hit
for
my
time
head.
because Alex left. Honestly,
So, okay, well, let's move on. Alex left anyways. So,
yeah, we don't need him.
Yeah.
We proved last week we didn't need him.
Yeah, it's true. So the next thing we have to talk about here, Ubisoft and Netflix partner on Assassin's Creed live action series. This is from gamesindustry.biz from, oh God, Marie
Alessandri.
Alessandri. Ooh, I wasn't terrible on that time. So, but yeah, essentially we have a Netflix adaptation of Assassin's Creed, and we don't know much more about it other than that it's a live action project, but there's no showrunner on it for at the moment. So
the main reason why I threw this in here was not because of this news. Yes, it's cool. Netflix and Ubi are doing a thing. We saw after the success of The Witcher on Netflix that, and even the anime Castlevania, that video game adaptations can work in a short form serial fashion. So my question to each of you is, what video game would you want to see adapted into some sort of television series, be it Netflix, Amazon Prime, HBO, wherever it might be? What video game do you think would be or make the best television series or short series?
I'm going to cheat right here because I actually wanted to talk a little bit about Assassin's Creed specifically and say that I would like to see a return to Italy during the Renaissance and return to the viewpoint of Ezio. Ezio, like, he's one of those characters where, you know, I feel like most gamers have forgotten him by now, but he was a real tour de force back in the day, and I would like to see him revisited in some new adventure, be it an animated series or live action.
Yes, Ezio was the best Assassin's Creed character, full stop.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that, like, this article, when I read it, I'm like, I know that for certain they're going to try to shoehorn in some dumb, like, future side aspect to whatever series they end up making, where they're, you know, exploring some disgruntled employees at the evil corporation that are trying to find out secrets from the past. And it's like, just focus on the people in the past. Consistently, the most interesting characters in the Assassin's Creed series have been the people in the past. Just make it entirely about them. And I think Ezio is the one to go with, second being Cassandra from the most recent one.
see, I like the future stuff sometimes, and maybe it's me thinking like Quantum Leap, because Quantum Leap, you would jump back in time all the time to different bodies and different points in history. They would like sub in. Seems like very fitting thing for Assassin's Creed if you're doing a show. But I think being in and out in one episode doesn't make sense. So maybe do like story arcs where you're in and out. But I would like to see all time explored, including seeing how the games won't do it. Maybe a Japanese tour.
Yeah, I think a way that they can make the future stuff work is if they were to make it so that whatever they're doing in the past is directly corresponds to some sort of mystery that they're trying to solve in like a specific place or location in the future. I don't like the fact that so many of the future scenarios in the Assassin's Creed games are like the future person being confined to a very small, limited space, like a warehouse or like an operating room. But if they're making it so that like they go into the past using the Animus, they explore a castle, and then they take off the Animus and they're in that same castle in the future, and they have to figure something out in that could be cool.
I mean, that's kind of what we got in Odyssey a little bit, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And Titanfall 2.
I like how no one answered my
Titanfall
question.
Oh, yes.
I like how no one answered my question,
Mitch?
but that's fine because all I'm going to say, we don't have to answer it now. We can save it for a rankum or something.
But I've got I've got an answer.
As long as this new series features Michael Fassbender in some way, there's no way it could fail, right?
No.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
Is
How
this
that
a
works.
reference to something?
He was in
He
the
was the
Assassin's Creed
star of the
movie,
Assassin's Creed film.
Wasn't
which
it
was
Jake Gyllenhaal?
really bad. No, you're
No,
thinking
that was
That was
Prince of
Prince of Persia, which actually isn't as bad as people give it credit for. I actually kind of like that movie. It's on Disney Plus.
All right,
I don't
sorry,
trust your opinions.
you're right. But for a show that I would like to see, I'd like to see an Astrobot Kids show from Netflix.
I want to see a Halo show made by Steven Spielberg.
I don't think you're getting that. TV.
Forward
TV.
Forward Unto Dawn was the best we got.
To actually answer your question, Mitch, seriously, for a long time I've wondered how a Metroid series could work, and then a certain series called The Mandalorian came out last year, and I feel like that I didn't love all of that series, but I feel like that series provided a very good blueprint for how a live action Metroid series could work.
I still have to finish
you just reminded me that The Mandalorian is back this week, and I am now much happier than I was 5 minutes ago.
All right.
I have to finish watching the first season so I can watch the second because it's got Sasha Banks in it.
It's real good.
Okay, we're going to jump to the final piece of official news here before we get into read, watch all the things. Nintendo Surprise Direct Mini confirms Hyrule Warriors demo, cloud gaming, and more. This is from Mobile Syrup by Bradley Shankar. So I did not watch this partner direct because I did not know about it up until we sat down here. So somebody tell me about what we saw during this partner direct.
I actually played this demo. It's pretty fun for a Muso. I may give the full game a shot.
I fully was not planning on getting it, but now, especially because of CyberPunk being delayed and this demo hooking me, it's fun. It looks like Breath of the Wild, but it's actually fun to play.
I'll allow it.
But yeah, it's honestly, I've never really played any Muso games at all, and so for this being sort of my first little introductory, they're real fun. You get to kill a lot of things.
The original Hyrule Warriors was just as fun, in my opinion.
My biggest issue with... Sorry, go ahead, Mitch.
Go ahead. Oh, I was just going to say, the only reason I did not play the original Hyrule Warriors is when it originally launched on the Wii U, I didn't enjoy playing the Wii U because of that controller, and it came out on the 3DS, and it was terrible. So at that point, they'd already had 2 chances to pull me in, so the Switch one also never went on sale, which bothers me. So I never picked it up.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just really happy that they're kind of they're taking the aesthetic of Breath of the Wild, but actually giving it the main thing it was missing, which is, a story. So I'm actually really down.
It had a story. It all led from the events of this game, which, and now that it comes out of my mouth,
I just wish that they told me what that story was.
It does, but whatever.
So, all right. I'm curious. I'm still not a big Muso fan. I played a bunch of different Dynasty Warriors and Samurai Warriors.
Nathan, do you still want to run through of what Nintendo showed off today?
Oh yeah, that's right. There's other stuff they showed off. What else did they show off? Tell me.
They announced that the streaming cloud game thing that was originally available in Japan with Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Resident Evil 7 is now coming to the West. It'll be used to stream Control, which is available today, and Hitman 3 in January.
I did actually try Control. It works pretty well. It was a little jello-y, but I was playing it in handheld mode, and the Switch doesn't really have good Wi-Fi normally. So, but it was playing that game at 60 frames. There was a teensy bit of input lag, but I'm not sure how much I'll chalk that up to my internet specifically or the streaming service. It's still hard to tell, but it was really weird having Control on my Switch. I didn't play much of it, but...
Do they have ray tracing turned on for that?
I don't think so, but I didn't play enough to really know.
Sure.
It looked like my PS4 version of it, but...
it's coming through at 720p, right?
That too, yeah.
Yeah.
But it was running at 60, which is very surprising.
It's more than can be said of the game on my PS4 Pro.
At the very least, I just think it's cool that they finally brought this over to the West. It was so weird when they originally announced years ago that Assassin's Creed Odyssey was going to be coming exclusively to the Japanese market by way of this technique. And so I'm happy that it's here.
That was probably more about the infrastructure for whatever servers they're paying, for space on to get these things distributed. They probably had the infrastructure ready in Asia, but not in North America.
Sure. It's just weird that the game that they first tested it out with was Assassin's Creed, which is a game that we, often associate here with the West Coast.
I was going to say, it's a Western RPG to be certain. So Nintendo also, I think the date for Age of Calamity had already been announced. That was November 20th.
Yep.
They also shadow dropped No More Heroes and No More Heroes 2 Desperate Struggle on the Switch for $25, both discounted to $22.50 at launch. And No More Heroes 3 is coming in 2021.
All right.
Bravely Default 2 is coming in February of 2021. Another game called Griftland Switch Edition, which looked really cool because it's from was it Clay Entertainment? Looked really good. Coming next year. Bakugan is still a thing.
My kids want Bakugans right now. That's what they're asking for Christmas.
Yeah,
Did Cyberpunk get delayed to make room for Zelda?
For sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
New story of seasons game coming. Some Surviving the Aftermath, Tropico 6, and they reminded you that Immortals Phoenix Rising, which Bradley uses a colon here, and as far as I know, the game doesn't have a colon in its title, is coming along current and next gen consoles on December 3rd. And they announced this is the last mini direct of 2020.
So we're going to get a full one.
I mean, I think
that's what the internet will speculate. We will see nothing until January.
I mean, legitimately,
Yeah,
I think that if there ever was an opportunity for them to kind of cleanse their plate and beef up for a big, meaty, proper Nintendo Direct, I think that now is the best time in forever. So
one might say girthy.
True. They could say girthy. That's totally correct.
I'm glad to hear you
Nintendo
embracing
PR,
this.
contact us. We'll be in touch. We'll let you guys use the word.
Yep.
I thought we wanted MeUndies first. Why are we going to Nintendo?
I mean, they can contact us too if they want to use the girthy underwear.
Yeah.
Sure.
While we're at it, can we have Manscaped? I love Manscaped products. You can sponsor us too.
Yeah.
You like sponsoring podcasts.
I've
That'd
never
be
been
nice.
comfortable with doing stuff in that area.
Oh, I love my Manscaped razor. It works perfectly. In fact,
Yeah,
my
just
wife,
look at his head.
yeah, I have used on my head.
Promo code YYZ.
Both of them.
Which head,
20%
AJ?
off.
My wife liked it so much, we bought a second one for her. She thinks they should do a womanscaped in pink.
Ladyscaping.
Ladyscaping.
Yeah, and then
see?
and charge $5 more
Manscaped,
bucks
hit us
for
up.
it
We'll
'cause
help you
it's
with the
pink.
branding.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll get your women's stuff set up. But hit us up, Manscaped. Somebody clip that and send it to Manscaped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And MeUndies and Nintendo.
Yeah.
Clip that too. But like specifically the manscaping part and send it to Nintendo. And then clip the MeUndies one and send that to Manscaped.
For sure.
Look how good we do.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway, so let's get into read, watch all the things here as we go through here. We got a few different articles. First one's from GameIndustry.biz from Rebecca Valentine. The first 12 hours of PS5 pre-orders match the first 12 weeks of PS4s, which I can't even imagine.
That's really surprising.
And we're also seeing, at least in Canada, Best Buy has announced they will not have consoles in stores. They're pushing everyone to online. And I think that online is going to be the only way you're going to see a console this year or for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, they went up on Best Buy and sold out before the stores were even ready to try sell pre-orders that day. So they just blew all their pre-orders through online. And I did confirm this with a Best Buy manager when I was visiting a store for my job. And yeah, no, that 100% the case. They want no foot traffic. They'll be directing people away at the front door if they're looking for consoles, because they will have none to be had.
What you should do if you're desperate is just keep an eye out at your Shoppers Drug Mart when you're going out to get your essentials.
Oh yeah, that's a good call.
You might walk away with a console.
Also, keep an eye on Al Babbins on Twitter, because that's how most of us Canadians get our consoles in the first place.
Yep, it's true. We got the links and we pre-ordered them up, and I really hope Best Buy gets them here on time.
God, please don't.
Are we
fail us,
all Best Buy? We're all
At least
Best Buy
for PS5. Yeah.
PS5.
Yeah.
Oh God! If Best Buy does not come through and we have nothing to talk about that weekend, we have a whole show scheduled around it. None of us get our boxes. That would just be like, what the fuck?
I would
Best Buy?
make like a PlayStation 5 out of like cardboard parts and do an unboxing with that. Like by now, somebody has like probably put a high res series of images of the PlayStation 5 box online. I'll just print that stuff out, glue it to a cardboard box, and the whole internet will be fooled. Great.
Awesome. So let's move on to the next thing. Season 7 of Apex Legends is coming. Cozy, are you excited about this?
I'm
I wonder
very
who
excited.
put this one in the dock.
Look, I'm not going to talk very long about this. Season 7 of Apex is coming along. There is a new hero coming. She has
She's
various
Scottish.
base powers. Yes, she is Scottish indeed. The entire season, well, at least for the immediate time being, is going to be taking place on an entirely new map that is set inside the clouds. I'm going to skip ahead in the trailer just a little bit so that we can see a brief look at it. It's a little bit different than what I was expecting it to look like. I thought it would be more akin to like Columbia from BioShock Infinite or Elysium from Metroid Prime 3, in that I thought there were going to be a lot of like holes in the floor that were going to make falling to your death very easy. It's actually more sturdy of a city than that. In any case, it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, but what is, I think, going to be the most fun is the fact that this season of Apex is introducing something that previously only existed in Call of Duty Warzone, at least amongst the battle royales that I play, which is vehicles. You're now finally going to be able to ride around and wreck shop on wheels or on anti-gravity emitters that are underneath these vehicles, which are called tridents. So yeah.
So it sounds like if you actually ran your vehicle into somebody, the person will just bounce off. You're not going to like run them over, which I mean kind of makes sense for the fact that there's no actual fall damage either, right? So
yeah, but just the experience of being able to ride around at high speeds makes it worth it, even if they're not as deadly as the vehicles in Call of Duty.
Absolutely.
Ammo.
Absolutely.
Okay. So we talked about Keza McDonald as we linked it to the earlier thing, but go check her Twitter thread out about the issue she's having. The issue she's having with Watch Dogs on the Xbox One X. I think it's important to go check that out and just be aware.
Yes.
And then finally, in the read all watch things, we have a trailer for No Man's Sky: The Next Generation. AJ, you must be excited for this.
I am. It's the first instance of proper VR support for something next gen that is available, because it's going to be the next generation port of the game. You're gonna get it for free on PS5, like a free upgrade from the PS4 version, and your PSVR will work with it. You just need to get the special little dongle from the PlayStation website, which is actually free. Apparently, you just need to put in the.
It's linked. We're gonna get to it in a minute.
Yeah, the serial number. For
I've got the details because
yeah.
I've got it in deals of the whatever.
Sure.
I'm gonna do that after this is done.
So, but yeah, No Man's Sky looks great, and it's also going to be a 32-player multiplayer instead of 16 now. So,
sweet.
Yeah,
maybe it's finally time I get into it. We'll see. It's not one of the free
be.
games in the PS Plus collection, is it?
No, but it should be, because I bought that game at launch at full price and I have it on a disc, so I'm not even going to get to play it in my PS5. So Sony, fix that.
It's also on Game Pass.
Maybe maybe
it
one
is
day.
on Game Pass.
I just want to play
Game Pass
the
isn't on PlayStation 5.
I have a quick question
it's
about
on your PC.
Question about No Man's Sky. I remember when this game first came out, and this is not me trying to troll, this is a legitimate question.
Yeah.
I remember when the game first came out, one of the most popular GIFs that you could see online was a GIF comparing what dinosaurs looked like in trailers ahead of the game's release versus what they looked like when the game actually released, where the first one made it seem like, oh man, it's going to be like Jurassic Park in space, and then the second one, it looked like that Halloween dinosaur costume just puts it around everywhere. Did they significantly improve the dinosaur graphics?
I think they did. They definitely kind of hit a middle ground where you're going to see like little pods meaning little groups, I'll say, of very similar looking creatures to each other, and whatnot. But they also in previous updates did allow for increased scale of the creatures that you find, as well as the previous update, the Origins update, had giant dune-like sandworms in it. So yeah, the giant creatures are there. There's dinosaur-like creatures. They're probably rare. You're not going to see a brontosaurus walking around. You're going to see these procedurally generated from random parts things, and you might get lucky and see something that looks somewhat realistic.
Cool.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right. So that's exciting. Good to see No Man's Sky wish
Yep.
to talk today. Still kicking it, and really bring the updates and I guess coming in up to their promises that they made with the original game.
Yeah,
so-
absolutely. And the fact that it's all free updates. You haven't had to pay for anything else other than the base game. So
Yeah, no, that's pretty amazing. It's good to see them do that. I'm glad to see Hello Games get a bit of a reprieve there. So it's raining deals. We got a few deals to talk about here. A lot of Game Pass and PS Plus. The first thing I want to drop in just for us Canadians in the States, they were doing a Burger King PS5 promotion where you could potentially win a PS5. I've seen a few one already in my gaming groups on Facebook from people in those groups. So it sounds like they've got a good amount of them. That is now available in Canada. So I just refreshed my status on the. Well, I don't think that's the right sound. What's the Burger King?
So
sound?
what you're telling me is I need to go to Burger King for lunch tomorrow.
Yeah, I went to Burger King with my wife for lunch, and we got two separate Whopper. We got two Whopper meals, but we put them on separate receipts for easiness. And yeah, so now they are. I've put them through the web app, and they say they are in process.
Ooh.
So
will
we'll see
do
if
that.
I win a PlayStation. If I do, I will probably tweet about it.
Do you
Amazing.
Do you need to buy a specific product, or it's just like I could go in there and buy a drink?
Has to be a Whopper meal.
Has to be a Whopper meal. Okay, that's good to know. Carmen.
yeah.
And you do it on Uber Eats.
Oh,
I don't think you have to do an Uber Eats. That's not true.
No, I said
I
I don't think you could because I think
Oh.
the code is on the printed receipt.
So it's not a code on the receipt. You have to scan the receipt and circle the. It has you take a picture of the receipt. There's no code you enter. You have to circle the line where the Whopper is on it.
Oh,
Interesting.
Yeah. So and then you
maybe
just
you could do
upload the
Uber Eats?
receipt. I think as long as you have a valid receipt. The problem
Okay,
with
yeah, I'll put in the notes. Please give me the receipt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, there might be a
Uber Eats-
receipt like stapled to the bag or something. Like we ordered sushi tonight from Uber Eats, and the receipt was on the bag. So restaurant to
depends
restaurant,
which
they might do
restaurant.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
they
never
make
done
it
Uber
Burger
Eats from
King.
Burger King.
So
And Alex, you could also just walk to Burger King.
yeah,
Oh,
so just be aware we're not being ripped off in terms of prizes for PS5s. So if you want to win a PS5 potentially, and I've seen people win them that I know in different groups win one, it is possible. So next up, Mitch, you've got a few deals here. The first one is games coming to Game Pass, with probably the most important game being Grim Fandango, one of the best written games of all time from the legendary LucasArts Studios and Tim Schafer.
No,
Yes,
best game coming to Game Pass is Celeste.
it's the second
so-
best game.
You've got a ton of old school adventure games from said studio. Day of the Tentacle, Full Throttle Remastered, Grim Fandango. That's all I see from them. But then you've also got Celeste coming to Android console and PC. Comanche, which is I think like a helicopter game, is coming to PC, so that's fun for all you PC dorks with flight sticks. Knights and Bikes is supposed to be very good, so I'm
I've heard good
looking
things
forward
about
to checking that out on PC November 5th.
I like that game, I believe.
Scourge Bringer, I've heard really good things about, only coming to Android, which is interesting because that's like xCloud, but it is, and that's coming on October 29th. So yeah, lots of fun stuff coming to Game Pass over the next few weeks.
I'm just going to say, if you haven't had a chance to play any adventure games, Full Throttle Remastered, one of my favorite PC games of all time. Day of the Tentacle Remastered is an excellent update. That was the one I hadn't played, and Grim Fandango. They're legendary games, and they're great. If you need to use a guide, just use the guide to get through it, but they're really worth playing. I love those games. I wish we had more point-and-click adventure games. God, they're so good. Anyways, so also, we've got the PlayStation Plus collection details revealed with some new stuff. Number one, we have Bug Snacks coming to the PS5.
Whoa.
And it's going to be launching with PS5, I think, on the 14th, and then it will be there
12th.
until January 4th. The 12th, you're right. It'll be there to January 4th because they want to have access for it for more than a month.
Interesting tidbit there is that they are saying it is exclusively the PlayStation 5 version of Bug Snacks that is available on PlayStation Plus. So either we're not getting cross-play next generation with titles like this, or they've made a deal where it's not going to be cross-buy because they want to do this promotion, or I don't know. But it's strange the way they've...
By the sounds of it, it sounds like they with this specifically, they if you get the PS4 version, you can upgrade it. But
have they said that? I don't know if they have.
So, I was listening to KFGD earlier today, and I think that something like that was said. And then, it's going getting the PS5. If you get the PS4 version, you can upgrade it, but getting the PS5 version, you can't go backwards. Yeah,
there's a press release out from Young Horses, the developer, and I'll throw this into the Discord if Cozy you want to throw it on screen. But essentially, they've said that the PlayStation Plus version is a special version of the game. So the free version of the game won't have all the benefits of just buying the game outright. Anyone who buys a game on PS4 can upgrade to PS5. Anyone who buys the PS5 version gets it for PS4 as well, but the PlayStation Plus version is only redeemable for the PS5 version of the game.
But it's not the full game?
Well, it's the full game, but it doesn't offer the cross-generation.
The cross-play. Okay.
Interesting. Cool. Okay.
So, Pop Agenda, if you still want to hit us up with review codes, I would like a cross-generational one. So my boys
I will reach out to them when that becomes available, but we get most of our stuff from them on Epic. So.
Oh, well, come on, hit me up.
I'll take that.
But anyways, so the other things we have coming are Middle-earth Shadow of War, which apparently they fixed the bad microtransaction issues with, I hope.
Yeah, they fixed that very shortly after the game came out.
Okay. And then Hollow Knight Void Heart Edition. I've heard many good things about Hollow Knight, and I've never...
It's really, really good.
Fantastic.
So, and then they've also to the collection, PS Plus collection, which already had an insane value, added in Call of Duty Black Ops 3, the Zombie Chronicles edition. So if you like Call of Duty, this is a great thing for you. And if you enjoy Bandicoots, the Crash Insane trilogy is on there. I don't love Crash games. I'm going to try it, seeing how it's included. But I don't have fond memories. I don't think they're good games. So, but I'm interested to try that one.
Something else of note is when they originally announced the collection, they announced that Final Fantasy 15 was going to be in it. Today they've clarified that is the Royal Edition of the game.
Oh,
what does
that's
that
everything
mean?
Then?
Oh,
DLCs and everything, I'm assuming.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, that's the full kit and caboodle. So that'd be like if Persona included the Royal Edition.
Yeah, it's weird that it's just based Persona 5 in it.
Well, the Royal's so new this year, I don't think they want to give it away yet.
That's true, yeah.
So I get that. And then the final piece that we have is an Alba Evans deal, which I cannot see. Oh, yes, that's right. The dongle.
This is the PlayStation camera adapter for PS5. Anyone that does click through and do it a few times, because it took me about 10 attempts of entering my PSVR serial number, which you can find on the back of like the receiver box. Mm-hmm. The website shows you exactly where you find it. It took me about 10 tries to go through, because basically you have to trigger a second like CAPTCHA verification, and there must be a bug or something, because it took like 10 attempts before that second one came up. So if it says
or it's overloaded or something,
it could be. It seems more like a bug to me, because it was fairly consistent.
Sure.
I have a lot of people telling me like nobody has PSVR, so it can't be that many people.
Exactly. I was able to get through eventually. It just had to, you had to try a few times. So don't give up. If it says, contact support, don't do that. Just keep clicking.
Yep. Mitch, did it tell you when you would get your dongle?
No, which I'm a little concerned about, because so we're working on some stuff behind the scenes, but I was a little apprehensive using my current address. If that says anything, just because I don't know if that will be it, or I don't know how long it's going to take them to ship these things. So we'll see.
Hopefully it's pretty quick. All right. So it's raining deals. We've covered everything here. So now we're going to jump into topic of the show. How are we doing time-wise here? Oh, we're not doing too bad. This is going to be a bit of a truncated one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got about 30 minutes to go over some of our spookiest gaming memories.
Very excited.
Spoopy gaming memories. I don't have a lot of spoopy gaming memories, so I'm going to just start off with mine. It's just one of my favorite games to play at Halloween. And it's actually free in the Epic Games Store right now until tomorrow. Nope, might be till the end of today.
I think it's the end of today. So
end of today. So if you need it, redeem it there. But Costume Quest 2, another Double Fine joint, as we were talking about some of the Tim Schafer adventure games. And this is a RPG where your kids in costumes trick-or-treating, and you get those powers of those costumes. And it's just wholesome and a lot of fun.
Is Costume Quest 2 a game that scares you and gives you the shivers, though?
No, I don't like games that scare me and give me the shivers. That's why I'm talking about Costume Quest 2.
What about are there any like non-horror games that you've played that like have really kind of scared you or given you the shivers?
I played a Crash Bandicoot once, and that gave me the shivers. I tried I tried Breath of the Wild. Did not like that one. So that gave me the shivers playing it because it was just not a good Zelda game and made me so disappointed.
Fuck off.
So, but no, honestly, there's nothing that stood on my head of something that was like spooky. I typically avoid spooky games.
Okay.
Just not my jam. But I did think I want to shout out Costume Quest because I think it's a wonderful little game, and it's really how like it's Halloween themed as you're trick or treating and going around people's houses.
People go trick or treating? That sounds like a novel idea of things that won't happen in 2020.
Sounds unsafe.
We have trick or treating happening this year in our neighborhood this year. So
you're letting your kids go out this year?
Yeah, London said it's good for people to go out, and you just got to practice proper things when handing candy over and stuff. So we're good. I think in GTA you're not allowed to. So
Nope.
So sorry. So, but yeah, the kids.
Damn.
We will be doing a little bit of trick or treating this year as I walk around in my inflatable costume, which I will share on that day.
See, that sounds appropriate because at least within an inflatable costume, there's no. Like you're basically wearing a full body suit, like a hazmat suit, right?
Yeah, like honestly, to get close to me, you can't. Like it almost gives me that 6 foot radius as I walk around.
Perfect. That's all you need.
So yeah. So I should be completely healthy after that. But I'm going to field this conversation to a few of you guys so you guys can tell me about your moments. I'm going to start off with Cozy. Cozy, you tell me what you think or what your spookiest memories are.
So the game that I wanted to bring up, actually, if you watch the stream that myself and Mitch did playing Pokemon over on Sunday, you actually will already know about this moment that I'm going to talk about, but I specifically wanted to talk about the alien invasion sequence from The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. So there is a ranch in that game where normally when the game starts out, you can only enter the ranch on the kind of third day, but by means of a large bomb, you're eventually able to enter into it on the first day. And when you do so, you meet up with the kind of ranch ladies, and they basically explain to you, or rather the younger sister explains to you, that there are these aliens that come by every year of the festival and basically attempt to abduct the ranch's cows. And basically by following down that quest line, you eventually end up being enlisted by her to take to your bow and arrow and defeat the aliens. You know, right now, watching this video, they don't look all that creepy, but back in the day, fighting off these aliens in the dead of night of Majora's Mask was creepy as shit. Their designs are vaguely based off of the Flatwoods monster. They're not obviously as creepy as some of the kind of eyewitness descriptions of that monster in real life, but I still think that they have a kind of uncanniness that is unusual, I would say, to like most other monsters in the Legend of Zelda series. And I think that combined with the music, combined with just so one thing that I didn't mention is that obviously you're supposed to get through this sequence in one piece, but if you lose, if you let the aliens abduct the cows, they also abduct the younger sister, then list you onto this mission. And she basically comes back the next day brainwashed. And if you try to talk to her, she basically won't say anything. And then it's only by the third day that kind of her memories and sense of self come back to you. And she's just completely like out of it. It's everything all around about this quest is incredibly creepy. So yeah,
wow.
AJ,
it's a good pregnant pause there. Yeah, no, sorry. This is also one for me that I totally forgot about. Either that or I blocked it out because it definitely playing it as a kid made me feel incredibly uneasy. But in a similar vein, in Ocarina of Time, the re-dead in the family tomb kind of got me, and because what would happen in when you fought against those guys was specifically they're essentially just zombies, right? And you're crawling into this tomb to get this to progress the story. I'll just say it's been a while, and in it there are zombies kind of guarding and protecting the tomb, and if you get seen by the zombie, you get petrified and frozen stiff and you can't move, and they slowly just lumber their way over towards you. And you hear this blood-curdling scream as they do it, which is just a basic sound effect to let you know that, hey, this is happening. And then they if they get close enough, they will latch onto you and drain your life. That specifically, I remember being incredibly frightening as a kid. You're showing it up on stream right now. I don't know if this guy's going to get. He's petrified
he got
now,
paralyzed, but he's not going to get attacked by that.
He's not going to get eaten, but it was definitely very, very, very nerve-wracking as a kid. And another one that I remember specifically, and this is from when I was maybe 7 or 8. I had a hard time getting through the first level in Duke Nukem 64, which is the Hollywood Holocaust level. I can do that level no problem now, but for me it was the very uncomfortable alien noises. It was kind of jump scare like. The level's called Hollywood Holocaust, and I remember playing with my cousins a few times, and we were trying to beat it, but we were just so scared we kept dropping the controller anytime something would happen in it. Those aren't traditionally scary games, either of the ones that I brought up there, but for me, like as a kid, trying to navigate the 3D world and stuff, and anything could come from whatever side of you, and until I learned to separate reality from fiction. No, this is just a game, I can handle this, whatever. That's kind of the stuff that got me. So
watching this Duke Nukem 3D footage, I can imagine that one thing that didn't help is that your field of view is pretty small. And like, I understand that it's a first-person shooter. Of course, your field of view isn't going to be gigantic, but I can only imagine that increased the feeling of kind of claustrophobia and terror that you experienced.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially as like an 8-year-old kid, for sure. Yeah.
All right, sweet. Alex, let's hear some of your memories.
Okay, so
being spooked.
So I've kind of got two that really come to mind when it comes to like spooky. Well, one of them is like you would think of as like spooky game. The other one is kind of not traditionally thought of as a spooky game, but atmospheric as fuck. So I'll start with like the spooky ones first, and that's Dead Space. The Dead Space series is phenomenal, especially the first one that really leaned hard into like almost being Resident Evil, but in space. And like, I absolutely love the Dead Space series. Like, I thought it was so cool to have zombies, but instead of kind of subverting the expectations with them, with like, instead of shooting them in the head, you got to detach limbs, which is usually like a no-no when it comes to zombies in traditional media. And so the necromorphs were just really cool enemies, and that game is, especially the first one, is terrifying as fuck, because you're not a soldier or you're not a cop or anything. You're just a guy, an engineer having a really bad day, and you got to use your power tools to fucking kill some zombies. And so I absolutely love Dead Space. I am really sad that that series got killed the way that it did, no pun intended. And I honestly really wish that EA, like with a lot of the games that they have in their backlog, would do a remaster of at least Dead Space 1 and 2. 3 is fine. I don't hate it, but just Dead Space 1 and 2 are phenomenal. But like spooky wise, Dead Space 1, very, very good, especially when you fight the enemy that just regenerates no matter how much you shoot at it. And like kind of like Mr. X in Resident Evil 2. That was like really big. Just, I love that series, and I just wish that I could. That's one of the things I'm actually excited about with the Series X, is I was looking through the backwards compatibility, and both Dead Space, or all three of them, are backwards compatibility on Xbox. So I might actually play through Dead Space when I get my Series X, because I miss that series a lot. But when it comes to the sort of more tradition or less traditional spooky game, but still has its moments, it's BioShock. Like, BioShock is not a game that you think of as a horror game, but it has a lot of horror elements in it, I would say. I mean, especially the first one.
The original one especially, yeah.
Yeah, with Rapture being like in the state that it is when you're in it, and then the splicers, them talking to themselves, they're all kitted out on Adam. It's like, really, or is it Adam or is it Eve? Eve is the blue liquid.
I get that confused all the time myself.
Yeah. I can't remember exactly.
Adam is what you extract from the
little girls.
Yeah. And then the hypos are Eve hypos.
Got it.
Yeah,
okay.
That's it. Yep.
Yeah, that but yeah, like there's a few moments specifically in BioShock that really, like, I remember, because it came out in 2007, and so to make you all feel old, I was 8 years old when BioShock came out.
Fuck you.
Yeah, so yeah, like, I was not at an age where I probably should have been playing that game, because that game really got to me quite a bit. Specifically two moments that I'm thinking of. One is the first time you see the Big Daddy, because it's like you hear the little sister, and then there's the splicer that tries to take the little sister, and then Mr. Bubbles comes with the drill. And there was something about that of just like, oh, I'm gonna fight that later. I don't want to. And so that really got to me. But specifically, yeah, like just I don't know, there's something about just the Big Daddy and just how fucking unrelenting it was, and the sound design in BioShock was really great. And yeah, right here with the smashing the head against the glass, really, really got to me as a kid. But as well, the big moment that I think a lot of people resonate with is when you get the revolver for the first time, and you hear the woman talking to the baby in the stroller, and after you kill her, you find out it wasn't a baby at all, it's a gun. There's something about that moment in particular that has stuck with me ever since. And it is like, there's so many moments like that all throughout the first BioShock especially. And yeah, BioShock is it's one of the greatest games of all time. So, and it spooked me quite a bit, and still is super atmospheric even today.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you want to hear about something actually scary?
Oh, here we go.
Both of my examples are kind of novel uses of the game's technology, and like they're more modern titles. The first is Alien Isolation.
Ooh.
So that game will scare the bejesus out of anybody. Any moment you have to interact with the alien, because what's worse is the game is listening to you. So if you make too much noise, or you've got your camera set up and it's picking up audio, if you're not quiet enough, the alien will find you and it will murder you, and it will be scary as hell. So if you're not a fan of that, either disable the microphone, but don't, because that was honestly the best way to play that game. All the lights off, being really quiet. You hear the footsteps, you hear the crawling, you hear the, and you freak the hell out, and you make too much noise, and it finds you every time, and every time. The second of which is one of the very interesting mechanics that they introduced in Until Dawn. And this is a game that I played, I think it was Halloween. It was either Halloween or Christmas for some reason. And we had a group over, and we were playing it as a group, making the decisions and everything. And one of the moments came up of, don't move the controller. And not moving the controller when you're in a room of people who are all very tense and looking way too adamantly at the screen, only to get jump scared. And I didn't get scared by the game. I didn't jump from the game. I jumped from everyone around me jumping, and we messed it up. And it was bad, but it was very, very entertaining for the state we were all in of playing this horror game together collectively, and for us all to get spooked, and us all to, like, the controller ended up moving, and oh man, like, that game did such a great job of utilizing what it had to tell a really good story. And those specific moments of the way they use the technology to enable more like interactive, like more like, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking like moments that you wouldn't normally have interacted with in a game, you're now interacting with because they were novel enough to come up with the idea of using what they had. And it made those games scarier because of it. And I hate scary games, which is why most of my examples are modern, because when I was a kid, there was no way in hell. I got scared playing Doom 3 just because it was too dark.
Yeah.
So that just shows you the level of spoopy that I am comfortable with. But those examples that I played through on more modern hardware as an adult with less of a chance of pissing myself. I say less. I don't say 0% chance. Less of a chance of pissing myself. Were really, really good and really atmospheric for the time that I played them in.
One other thing that I was actually just reminded of, my girlfriend's in the chat, and she reminded me that I actually sat her down with no context, gave her an Xbox controller and said, here, play this. And she played all the way through Gone Home. Yeah, with no context, no knowledge of it. I didn't tell her what was going to happen.
That is the way to play that game.
Absolutely. And she was horrified. She had no idea what was going to happen in it. And I'm not going to spoil it here, but the start of the game is you show up at a house, and your parents aren't there. They've gone out. Your sister is not there. She's gone out somewhere. You're home alone at this new house that they inherited from like some weird crazy uncle or something like that. And the entire atmosphere is you're exploring this dark, strange place that looks lived in. There's some familiar aspects of your childhood there, and then there's a bunch of other weird, like, newspaper clippings about a crazy guy who happened to own the house previously. Like, it sets up the atmosphere so well, and I'm super thrilled that she stuck through it, because I'm quite sure she was ready to throw the controller into my TV, and I'm very glad she didn't.
So I lied earlier when I said I hadn't played spoopy games, because I played Gone Home the second or third day after it came out. On Greg Miller's recommendation at the time, he just said, look, I know it's on PC, but that's the only place you can go play it now, be a PC dork, just for that one day. And I played it not knowing anything about the game. I completely turned everything off about it. And yeah, walking around that house was really interesting. And I like the dread of going from room to room, and then eventually nothing happening. But then near the end, there was more dread.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's all I can say. And the way that the team here was able to manage to create this environment, this house, which felt alive. And at the same time, you don't know what was coming every single time. So no, this is definitely a good game to bring up, because It really captures that without being a scary game. Anybody else in Gone Home?
It was wonderful. Play it.
I
with no context.
absolutely loved it. Again, going in blind was the best way to do it because I was so tense the entire time, not knowing what to expect, and was pleasantly surprised by the end of it.
If you haven't played it and you have PS Plus, it was a PS Plus game at one point. So you might have it in your backlog to play.
Yeah. Not it wasn't too long ago, I don't think. I'll look that up while you wrap up the segment.
It was also free on EGS at some point recently. As well.
So I think we can all agree that the message of Halloween is spookiest. You want to be spoopied and scared, but maybe just play a fun game.
There's many.
So I thought Gone Home was free. Yeah, I thought Gone Home was free more recently, but I'm looking at the month that it came out. There were still Vita games on the list, and that month was June 2016. So I am totally wrong. Yeah, it was a long time ago, and I feel old as balls.
It's all right.
Yep.
I don't need to yell at you for that. But I think at the end of the day, we all learned we should be friends.
Always.
Yeah, it's not about the podcast. It's about the friends we made along the way.
Yeah. So, and that's how we'll wrap up the spookiest gaming memories. If you have spooky gaming memories that you would like to share with us, reach out to Twitter and or just tag Mitch George relentlessly for some reason.
Because I love spoopy things.
Yes, send as many spoopy things as you can. He
Please
enjoys
don't.
that.
No.
So now's the time for the outro. So thank you for tuning into this episode of Press YYZ. If you've enjoyed what you just heard, be sure to check us out on Twitch, rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, and follow us on our Twitter account at Press YYZ. We also now have an Instagram account that we are trying to post to regularly and a YouTube channel. So
YouTube channel
and
is
we'll keep you up.
Coming along the way. It is all set up and ready to go. Like, you can totally visit it, but we don't have any actual content on it, which is why we're not sharing the link to it just yet. But
spoilers coming soon. Coming very, very soon. So, but all our socials will keep you up to date with when we go live and post new episodes. And of course, you can find the rest of the crew on social media. Alex, hit me up.
All right. If you want to see any of the behind the scenes photos from Access Granted or just my regular bullshit on Instagram, it's blatantly Alex. Twitter as well for your regular dose of bullshit as well. Blatantly _Alex. And that's what I'll leave it to.
All right, Cozy.
Yeah, well, you can find me as usual on Twitter at Alex Kazina. You can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/CozyBearLive. Again, I'm going to be hosting my upcoming Extra Life stream there on November 6th. That's a Friday. It's going to be from 1 p.m. until 1 a.m. Lots of fun entertainment will follow. I am also going to be streaming, of course, as usual, after this stream concludes. I think I'm going to just go back and play some more Pokemon, because that game is really, really great. And if any of you want to join me in it, you're more than welcome to do so. Both you, my hosts that I'm podcasting with, and also you in the chat as well. So please keep an eye out on my Twitch channel.
Mitch, who will probably join Cozy on playing Pokemon.
Maybe, maybe not. I got a few games that I need to take a look at for review, but you can find me anywhere you find me. Mr. Mitch George, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch. That's Sundays, Mondays, and Thursdays usually, but that's always subject to change because I'm busy. But I may pop into Cozy stream once in a while, especially when there's Pokemon to play. So, yeah.
Sweet. And AJ.
You can find me all over the internet at TimesHero, capital T, capital H.
Sweet. Follow me at _NMAC on. I've now changed my Instagram to that, as well as Twitter. I need to get better at using Instagram because I'm an old man and I need to figure out how this social media stuff works. But in the meantime, we'll teach you
how to do the Instagrams through the podcast account. Don't worry.
Ooh, sweet. I'm looking forward to that. Until next time, thanks for playing.
Take care, guys.
Wear a mask.
Yes.